Yeah? No? He says no, but she's got that dead look around her eyes, which makes me think you are married. Yeah? No? Oh, God. You guys are married. No?
We are.
Those two.
You men are married? Chapel Hill, fuck yeah! Is anyone married in this room?
Scarborough.
Scarborough. You guys, how long have you guys been married? 2 years, you're newlyweds.
Yes.
Do you like marriage?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not even paying attention, so you can
Yes,
say
that's why I
whatever.
like it. Yeah.
So, well, you know what? Marriage takes a bad rap. It does. It's underrated. I've been married 12 years and actually really enjoy it. Yeah, right? Almost 12. We don't get divorced before August. We're good. So 12 years. But you know what? Marriage makes you a better person. It really does. I drink a lot less since I got married. I rarely black out during sex. Like hardly ever. It's great. It's
Is that
great.
good or bad?
And you did that before you were married?
It's a different set. That's the set at Goodnight. No, marriage is great. The thing is, when I do drink, when I do a little bit too much to drink, what I do now is I sit down at the computer and I buy shit. Does anyone do this? You're nodding. Is that, yeah, no, not nodding. And the problem is not so much one of money, it's really one of memory. Because I don't remember so much doing it, and so 3 weeks later I get a box in the mail. I'm like, oh, what the fuck is this? So I open it up, and last week it was a set of regulation boxing gloves, and a pair of bumpets, and a box of cat diapers. Don't have cat. So, in what alternate universe did I possibly imagine the use of those 3 items either separately or together? But, you know, that actually made me think of one more downer about marriage. And Michelle, I don't know if you've encountered this yet because you guys are kind of newlyweds, but your personal hygiene standards will drop. Because you no longer have to up your game, you no longer have to even maintain your game because no one's watching your game. I'll give you an example. I'm in the bathroom the other day. Perhaps this has happened to you. No toilet paper, no tissues, no napkins, no paper towels. There's nothing because there's never anything because there's always nothing. And then I saw a used fabric softener sheet. I did it. And yet, you know what? It wasn't that observant. But I'll tell you what, ladies. After a while, things got awfully soft and smooth. Added bonus, my husband no longer gets an electric shock when going down on me. You know, it used to be a big problem, especially in the winter.
Good to know.
Very good. Very
Yeah, it's a long way from college. Things were very different in college. I majored in German, actually. And yeah, all right. I minored in not being pregnant. I was Phi Beta fucking Kappa. And what I did was I used these little inserts. They were called N-Care. And you would insert them in your lady parts, and you'd wait a moment, and you would foam up, and you'd be off to the races. So I'm with a guy one night, and he says, oh, use a condom. And I said, no, you got to use the insert and a condom. But then I got thinking, and I said, well, if one insert is good. So I put 6 of them in and waited.
You did not.
Has anyone ever been to Niagara Falls? Oh, actually, that YouTube video where the kid puts the Mentos into the Diet Coke? Or Old Faithful? All I remember is that little guy just trying to keep his raft afloat. A long time ago, 20 years ago. And now I live in Durham. Woo! It's funny, I usually pause for laughter. I live in Durham, and the people watching in Durham is amazing. I saw a man the other day, he's walking down the street, and he was wearing a t-shirt that said, it's not going to suck itself. Probably true when you think about it. But then that got me thinking, how did this come about? Did he wake up that morning, put on the shirt, and say, today's the day. Today's the day I find the one woman in North Carolina who looks at it and says, ooh, that's hot. Buddy, it's not going to suck itself. But I tell you what, barring that, I would say developing extreme personal flexibility may be your best option. So I travel a lot for my work. I'm a consultant librarian, which is pretty sexy, and I fly a lot. And I fly Southwest a lot, and they're very buoyant and bubbly on Southwest, and I've always had a hard time imagining how they keep that up. Like, do they turn it off when they go home? And what are they like at home? So this is how I imagine the flight attendants are once they get home. Hi, honey, come on in, have a seat, any seat is fine, please take any seat, please do take a seat, any seat is fine, please sit anywhere you like, please do take a seat, we're behind schedule. I'd like to ask you to take off your shoes and put them under the couch, please do put your shoes under the couch, and I'll give you a little tip, they fit better if you put them in toes first. I'd like to ask you to put aside your iPod and newspaper and listen to a little bit of information about this home. This house is a 1990 model, approximately 1,600 square feet, and featuring a screen door that still slams after 4 years of me asking you to fix it. Yeah. This house also includes 3 children who can be found upstairs and in the backyard. If at any point you find you are unable or unwilling to perform your parental duties, we'll be happy to reseat you at your mother's house. I will be serving beer and wine this evening. If you find yourself in a full upright and locked position with some heavy baggage, I'll be happy to help you put it into my tricky personal compartment. Good night now. Good night, honey. Good night. Good night. Just what I imagined. So I'm under a lot of stress lately. We're actually buying a house. We put an offer on a house today, and so I've been trying to calm down. And a friend gave me some good advice. She gave me some advice about making lists. Does anyone make lists? Is that a thing? Yeah. Okay, well, I just tried it, and it worked. It actually really centered me. I made a list that were board games that sound like the orgasms of men I've slept with. And so far I have Yahtzee, Jenga, and Sorry. It's working pretty well. The other thing that's got me stressed out is I am interviewing for another job. And the job interviewer said something very, very personal, I thought. He said, I'd like you to be creative right now, and off the top of your head, what would your body be if it were a car? I had to think about that one. And the first thing that came to my mind that I just thought was, well, it'd be a Yugo. Because at first you're like, oh, that's kind of interesting, but then you realize it's not put together all that well, and you probably only want to drive it once. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I thought a little longer, and I said, sir, this body is a Prius. It's fairly quiet. It's a little bigger in the back than it is in the front, and it has never had a Republican inside it.